Why do I want an ADU? Before you start wondering if you want an ADU, let me explain what it is. An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit, commonly known as a secondary unit, backyard cottage, in-law unit, or granny flat. It is basically an additional living space in your home or your backyard. Around 2017, California decided to relax the restrictions for building ADUs to help solve the increasing need for affordable housing. An ADU is usually a standalone unit that does not require additional land. It is more cost-effective than building another home or apartment, and it can provide living space for your extended family, couples, friends, or seniors. It is also a source of income. So what is a JADU? These are Junior Accessory Dwelling Units, which can be created within the walls of your proposed or existing single-family residence and is no larger than 500 square feet. They share the central systems, contain basic kitchen plug-in appliances, and may share a bathroom with the primary dwelling. The idea behind an ADU is to provide low-cost housing without purchasing another property. Let's take a closer look. Hello, my name is Herbert McGurk, a real estate agent for Social Impact in Beverly Hills, California. Thank you for watching my video. Please comment, share, or like. The biggest question everyone has is, can I build an ADU on my property in California? Yes, anyone with a single-family home can build both an ADU and a JADU. If your house is on property in any type of residential or mixed-use zone, what's next? Before you get started on building an ADU, you want to take a few steps. Number one, get to know the laws in your area. Are you on city or county property? Find out your local governing body and how to get basic information you will need. Number two, what do you want to build and why? Know what type of ADU you want to build for rental or family and friends. An ADU must contain a kitchen, bathroom, sleeping area, and environmental controls like heating and cooling. California is requiring electric appliances for new constructions. So I suggest you don't plan on adding expense on installing a gas line and go electric. Number three, where are you going to build the ADU? Well, you generally have two choices, either the garage or a separate unit. And number four, how big do you want to build your ADU? If you are building an ADU in your garage, then you are generally limited to the size of your garage. If you want to build a separate unit, then generally an ADU has to be less than 16 feet tall and is around 750 square feet. ADUs have minimum size of 150 square feet and a maximum of 1,200 square feet. Number five, make sure you budget to finish your ADU. One of the biggest mistakes people make is not having the budget to finish the project. You never know when there will be one bad surprise or mistake that wasn't budgeted. And number six, make sure you are using a licensed contractor that are searchable and up to date. There are two types of contractors. One type of contractor is the one-stop shop, and they all do it from start to finish. This may be less expensive, which is good, but it's hard for a company to do a great job with all the necessary things that go into an ADU, such as architecture, framers, plumbers, electricians, and finishers. The other type of contractor will introduce you to specialists. This approach is more expensive because you are paying a premium to the contractor for every vendor, but you may get the better quality work. Whoever you choose, make sure they have experience in building ADUs. And they specialize in the type of ADU you want to build. Make sure you ask the right questions. So number seven, how much does an ADU cost? Well, that all depends on the type of ADU you budgeted for. In California, the average cost of an ADU is $275,000. Now you can decide to have a prefab or sticks construction. The rule of thumb is that prefabs are generally about 10 to 20% cheaper than a stick build. It all depends on the type and style you want to offer your ADU, and where do you see your ADU in a couple of years. So here are a few important facts that are overlooked when building an ADU. Foundations are extremely important. Usually garages have a slab foundation. Make sure the foundation and the walls are strong enough to support an ADU. Sewer lines. This can be one of the biggest obstacles. This requires permits. Check with the city or county. And if you're in a rural area, you may need to have an additional septic tank. What about the grant program? In California, the California Housing and Community Development Division of Home Financial Assistance, CalHFA, provided grants up to $40,000 in assistance to reimbursed homeowners for pre-development costs necessary to build and occupy an ADU. Unfortunately, their $100 million commitment has been allocated as of December 2022. In 2020-2021, there were additional laws that affected ADUs. There was AB 2221, reduced the timing to require a permit to build an ADU to 60 days, and the city has to give you a reason if they deny you. There were height restrictions. You can now build an ADU at least 16 feet tall. If you have a 2-story house, you can go up to 18 feet. SB 897, if you have unpermitted work on your property, you no longer have to remedy the work to build an ADU, and you no longer need to post a demolition notice for garage conversions. AB 961, you can convert any interior space within your primary dwelling into a bedroom without a public notice. In addition, there were many local building restrictions that became obsolete. You no longer have to be an owner-occupied property owner to build an ADU. HOAs can no longer block an ADU to be built. There are no longer impact fees for ADUs of 750 feet or less. And you don't need to provide a parking structure if you build in your garage. So does it make sense to build an ADU? When you expand your property with an ADU for personal use or an investment, you add significant value to your home. When you sell your property, you open the market up to potential homeowners and investors. After you build the ADU, only the value of the ADU will be considered for tax purposes. Your home will not be reassessed. If you rent out your ADU, you can depreciate your ADU over 27.5 years. If you are exercising a 1031 exchange, you may purchase a property as an investment property and use your exchange funds to build an ADU. Check with your 1031 exchange company. What are the pros and cons of purchasing an ADU? The pros, a source of income, whether long-term or part-time. ADUs provide a source of income. When you sell your property, the ADU is added value. You now have a usable space for a workshop, home office, studio, guest space, or living space for a family member. The cons. You are losing storage space, whether a garage conversion or detached unit. There may not be enough space for your car. If you plan to rent out the ADU, you will now become a landlord and have to manage tenants living on your property. There are costs to building ADU, and it may increase your property taxes and utility bills. Whether you decide to build an ADU or not, do your research before you get started. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please feel free to write me any questions. My name is Herbert McGurk. I'm a real estate agent for Social Impact. I give 10% of my commission to a charity of your choice in your name with every transaction we complete. Please comment, share, or like, and I will see you on my next video.